Hey, what's up, plumbers? In this short video, you will learn how to turn a water leak into a reroute or a repipe over $5,000 and above. And then you will also learn how to add between $500 and $1,000 more to that ticket every time. So in today's video, I have Carla Pastor, and she is with Blue Ribbon Restoration, and she's going to be sharing with the guys exactly how to get it done. And before she jumps into all those details, I'm going to let the plumbers know like the main ingredients to turn a small water leak job into a reroute or a repipe. And most people think it's really easy, and that's true for them. And some people think it's not so easy, and they just need a little bit of help. So I'm going to give you some key elements of like how it could become easy for you to turn a water leak into a reroute or a repipe, and then add another $500 to $1,000, not to your invoice, but to your commission before you even leave the job site. Okay, so here's how you get it done. Number one is, if they're reaching out to you for a small water leak, you know, it's you just getting your foot in the door, right? So don't go pitching them a repipe when they got a small leak unless they absolutely need it. So you want to win them over by getting them to like, know, and trust you. So you have to say, so you start off by what? Troubleshooting, then you get an initial to get started on the initial repair. And then there's hopefully a change order if needed, and then you cash out, right? That's typically how it goes. Now, we all know that it's kind of delicate when it comes to the restoration game, right? Like, when do we get the flood company to come in here and deal with this stuff? Well, I think number one, you want to solidify your job in your sale with your customer, because it's going to solidify your relationship. And if you need to bring an outside vendor for whatever reason, they're going to trust you with that. So you have to make them trust you on purpose. How do they trust you? You educate them, and you have to make them like you on purpose. How do you do that? Well, you talk about stuff that they like that's around their house, not stuff that you like, right? And then how do you let them get to know you? Well, you know, if you see kids, pictures of kids on the wall, and it's their kids and you have kids, let them know that you have kids. If they have a dog in the backyard, let them know about your dog, whatever it is that you can find to relate with them. So you want to do those three things before you even give a price to get the initial job started, because by then you'll get them to like, know, and trust you. So you might have heard that before, get them to like, know, and trust you, but nobody's telling you what to say, right? And I just did. I gave you the three examples. So you do that before you even give them a price on the initial call. And you could either turn it into a reroute or a repipe up front, or you can turn it into that in the back with a change order. So typically the best way it works is offer them both options up front. So that way, when you come back with a change order in the back, they're not saying, well, how come you didn't tell me? Or, oh, this is a surprise thing. I knew you would do this, right? So if you give them an option up front, hey, this is what it's like to repair it, replace it, reroute it, or repipe it. Right? So sometimes it's more than just two options. Sometimes you have four options. And so when you're giving these people these options, it's going to be based off their budget. It's not going to be based off of what you think in your solutions. That's bottom line. It's going to be based off their budget. They could want something, but if they can't afford it, then nothing's going to happen, right? So it's going to be based off their budget. So the next key element is financing. You want to be able to offer them low monthly payment plans, right? And that doesn't mean you letting them borrow money and then chasing your money. I mean, getting with a company like Hearth, Interbank, Green Sky, there's a bunch of them out there. We recommend Hearth, and let them finance that. And then they become your in-house financing department, right? And that's how you sell more jobs. So instead of selling a $7,000 repipe or a reroute, maybe you're selling a $150 monthly payment, you know? And so you'll scare a lot of people with a $7,000 invoice, but if you just follow through with that monthly payment plan, then you're most likely to get it. One of the key elements to financing is knowing your numbers before you talk about financing or pulling credit and all that crap. Because as soon as you say you're going to pull their credit, they're thinking, oh my God, it's going to be an application. This thing sucks, blah, blah, blah. So you actually don't even bring that up. And first you have to know your numbers. So do the math on I think Service Titan. It gives you the options for financing, and it tells you like what are the monthly payment plans for what you're trying to pitch them. And it'll show you in the screen there, right? people like House Call Pro, Skyboss, so on and so forth, they have something similar. So if you don't have something like that, but you do offer low monthly payment plans, then choose a 10-year, 5-year, and a 1-year plan, and then like give them an example. Hey, this is what it could look like if you want to spend $150 a month, or $300 a month, or $500 a month. So you can pay it off in either 10 years, 5 years, or 1 year. Which one works best for your budget? That's how you're supposed to ask for the sale. Not saying, hey, we got low monthly payment plans, and then it's just a phone call. We'll see if you get approved, and then there's interest. Don't even bring all that stuff up. Do it after you mention what I just told you. And then one of the better things that you can do is actually put it down like on a piece of paper, or if it's not a piece of paper, put it down like on your tablet, something they can physically see and point at it and say, I like that one. Because if you're just verbalizing it to them, they're trying to figure it out in their head, right? But if you can tell them, show them something, then they can look at it and say, oh, wow, that's really cool. I like this option right here, And this is actually a list of all of the jobs that the plumbers are selling after my sales training for plumbers. You guys can't see that list. It's kind of weird because of the background thing, but you get the point. Okay, so those are like some of the key elements to turning a water leak into a reroute and a repipe, and it's worth $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 and above. Now, a lot of the times there is pre-existing water damage, like maybe there's mold everywhere and you can't get to that until it gets removed. Or maybe you're dealing with the water leak underneath the house and all of that needs to be sucked out before your butt goes crawling down that nasty ass crawl space. Or you get the point. There's different scenarios where when you need the restoration company to come in first. In some scenarios, you don't need them to come in first, so you do your thing first. So I'm going to pass the microphone to Carla here, and I want her to explain what is the proper way. Like, because there's 2 ways to do it, right? Like, yeah. So I want her to educate you guys on what is the best way of doing this. So the number one, we don't irritate the customer and lose our own sale. That's huge to you guys, and we get that. So I wanted to bring an expert on here, and I'm going to let her take the mic now.
Well, thank you so much, Tony. And you're right. When something that I always talk about with my plumbers, right? Because I get leads from plumbers and they're always telling me like, Carla, customer asked for an estimate. They really need this, they really need that, but they say they don't have money. Customers always say they don't have money. And in the most part, we have money. We just don't have money for things we don't want to spend it on, right? Like, for instance, I have money to go and take my kids on a vacation, but I don't want to spend it on my plumbing. Like, no one's going to see it anyways, And so we need to show how important it is to actually take that money and put it to something that is very useful and much needed, right? But I always tell them too, when you get that phone call, customer, walked into the kitchen and there's water everywhere, right? Like, oh my God, they're freaking out, right? To them, their biggest investment, right, is flooding. And how are you going to fix this? So you have to be very empathetic when you walk into that house, because, and again, I tell my plumbers, you and I know one thing. We know that we can fix this problem. Actually, I know, working in the restoration industry, not only can I fix the problem, but man, if they want a new kitchen, I'll get them a new kitchen. Why not? New bathroom, okay. You don't want carpet in your bedroom anymore? I'll give you wood floors. I know this, but the customer doesn't. They're freaked out. They're stressed out. They don't know what's going on. They have 100 things going through their mind. And then we walk in like, I know it all. And we can't do that. We have to show empathy towards the customer. Now, I do get actually a lot of phone calls where, customers say, the plumber's charging me this much. Do you think it's too much? Do you know other plumbers? And I always have a trick. I go, look, what do you have going on? Get that invoice that the plumber gave you. Let's review it, right? Because as the restoration company who was just referred, by this plumber, I don't want to step on his toes. So building a solid relationship with vendors can actually save you your job. So and it's a game that my plumbers already know I'm going to play. I'm going to have the customer read to me what the invoice says, what they need, and I'm going to tell the customer, okay, let me call 3 other plumbers and I'll see what they say, right? I give it a few minutes. Usually I'll do about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll call the customer and I'll do the whole. One of them came out about the same. The other one came out really high, and the other one came out kind of low, but he said that, that's give or take, he wasn't really sure of the pricing. So I'm guessing they're going to upcharge it anyways once they're there. So actually, honestly, you got a great plumber. The price is right. We're going to work together as a team to help you get covered. So I would really just highly suggest you stay with that plumber. So building a relationship with a vendor is really important because they can actually help save that job for you. Not just save the job, but I've actually helped plumbers upsell the job too. We walk in there and the plumber already told me, hey, Carla, I told the customer, this is what they need, but they're really hesitant to do, that whole repipe that they need. And so we come in, and because, we want obviously we want the referrals to keep coming, and we respect the relationship that we have built with this plumbing company, we sit with the customer and we say, okay, you know what, based on the water damage, this is what you're gonna need to repair the job for the water damage. But have you considered doing a repipe? Because while we were in there, the pipes look really rusted out, or they look, like it's almost gonna be time. And if you don't fix it up, you're gonna get another water damage. And that's where you're gonna run the risk of getting a claim that's denied. Why? Because you just had a water damage. Why didn't you fix the plumbing before? So, building a solid relationship is going to be very important. Now, when you walk right into a customer's home, Tony, you talked on a video before, and I actually do watch your YouTube videos, and they're extremely educational, by the way. You talked about the 4 different types of people, right? And if you've taken any sales classes in the past, or just any type of class where they talk about dealing with different types of people, really getting to know the customer in the first few seconds is really important. Some of the tricks is, when you call the customer, if they don't answer, you listen to the voicemail. If they don't have a voicemail, to me, that says they don't really have time for too much detail. They just want to kind of get to the point, just get straight to it, and for me, like no voicemail is like, if they didn't take the time, they're not going to really want to take time for much else. They just want to be told what to do. But in reality, you have to get to know who you're dealing with. And the first few seconds is going to be very crucial, because it's going to be a matter of you get that job or they're going to call somebody else. So get to know your customer, really just take time to listen to how they talk, listen to them, really listen. I always emphasize on listening to the customer. They're going to ask you questions, answer the question. So listen to the question, repeat the question. That's really important. You don't want to get all caught up on saying a bunch of things that are not necessary, right? So you want to make sure you get straight to the point. Listen to how they ask you the question. Sometimes they're very quick with just short words, and sometimes they never stop talking. So then you're going to know if they don't ever stop talking and they go into a lot of details and examples, they're going to want you to go into a lot of details and examples as well. So listen to how the customer talks, because that's going to help you build that trust that Tony was talking about. You want the customer to trust you. That is really important. Tony, you have no idea how many times I take a phone call, right? Or I call a customer and I talk to this customer for about 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes. hi, how are you? My name is Carla. I got your phone number from your plumber, so and so with this company. He mentioned to me what you have going on, but can you explain to me, you know, what you like, why you called the plumber, right? That's a way that I get to listen to the customer, see how they talk, see what kind of person I'm dealing with. I also get a really good idea of their emotional and mental state. You know, what am I gonna walk into, you know? So they explained to me, sometimes they don't really know. They just know that they walked into the laundry room and there was a big puddle. Okay, is your laundry room on the first floor or second floor? You know, and ask them questions, right? Show that you care, you know, use a calm tone, you know, voice. Don't get all like, you know, technical right away, you know, always show compassion, always show that, hey, I'm here for you, you know, that voice that, you know, I'm gonna hold you by the hand and we're gonna go through this together. Um, be informative. You know, people like to deal with educational, you know, educated people. So, you know, when you're gonna talk to the customer, you want to make sure that when you're talking to them, you're letting them know what's going on in their language, right? Because I've been to jobs before and the project manager looked at me and said, okay, Carla, so you know, we're gonna set up the EQs here and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And the customer's kind of like, what are they gonna do? So, you know, make sure that you're considerate towards the customer and that you use full words. You know, we're gonna set up equipment, we're gonna send the project manager, not the PM, and he's gonna come in, you know, in 2 days to check the equipment and keep on repeating the words so that the customer understands what's going on. No one ever likes to feel like they were left out of a conversation. You know, it's kind of like going into, you know, into a conversation, they're speaking a whole different language and you're kind of like, I hope they're not talking about me, you know? So talking in your terminology will leave a customer feeling like they're left out of the conversation. Always use the whole words, you know, make sure the customer understands what's going on. You know, building that trust will make the customer not just want to work with you, not just want that upsell, right? Because you walked in because there was water all over the kitchen, but now you're going to try to sell them a whole, you know, repipe or something, right? So building that trust will make the customer feel more comfortable, you know, wanting to sign for that bigger job. Also, when you walk into a house, right? So you get a call, there was a leak in the kitchen and now there's water everywhere. Be very informative. Let the customer know, look, this is what you need, right? So let them know what plumbing jobs they're going to have to do, but also let them know that you can be more resourceful by offering services of another vendor. Build that relationship. Building a relationship with another vendor will you know, solidify that relationship with the customer. It's going to make them feel like they just made a new friend that's extremely resourceful, right? So make sure that you build a relationship with a restoration company, for instance, maybe an asbestos abatement company. You know, look for other vendors that you can build a solid relationship with, that you can now you know, refer to your customers. Don't refer just anybody, you know. I'm pretty sure a lot of, you know, plumbers deal with restoration companies that offer a referral, you know, fee, a finder's fee, you know, they offer some kind of money amount for the referral, right? I offer, I offer a certain amount if it's an insurance job. I offer a percentage if it's an out-of-pocket job, right? That's how I say thank you to my plumbers for thinking about me and for sending me the job. But it shouldn't be about how much money the restoration company gives you. It should be about the type of service they provide and how well they're going to treat your customers so that you have a repeat customer. Okay. Now, of course, the perk of the rest of, referring a restoration company is that money, right? So if you at some point, thought, I really want to work with Tony, but I can't afford it, I don't want to hear that excuse. Get yourself a restoration company. They will pay you a good amount of money and you have no excuses, right? Like, Tony.
Yeah, don't throw it at your gasoline. You got to pay that anyways. gasoline, like it'll get you to the job, but gasoline isn't going to produce 4 more jobs. It's going to help you perform that one job. So if you get a money from a restoration company because you referred a flood out to them, throw that money into something that's going to duplicate money. Don't just throw it at dinner or even like tools. It's a good long-term investment, but you got to get jobs, right? And so maybe you're already like have enough jobs. That's great. Maybe you're saying, I don't need more jobs though. So it's fine. I don't need to invest into marketing. Well, I would invest into sales training for plumbers because you can take the same amount of leads that you're getting and turn into bigger invoices ethically, right? We're not here to turn plumbers into like plumbing hacks and salesmen. These are just sales skills that you must learn if you want to make a lot more money with what you're already doing, right?
Exactly.
So I'll give you an example.
But being a good salesperson in plumbing is really important because you could be a really good plumber, but really bad at sales, and you're really doing an injustice to the people who call you. You know, I don't know, like I've dealt with so many plumbers that are not the best. And I feel so bad for the customers, you know. And then I have a lot of plumbers that are like, oh my God, like how are there no like how are there more of you, right? But they're terrible at sales. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, like you need help.
Yeah.
People need more of you coming to their front doors. So yeah, being a good salesperson in plumbing is extremely important. Really get to know the customer, listen to them, you know, listen to how they talk, listen to how they're feeling.
I think that a lot of the plumbers out there have this like negative connotation or negative taste in their mouth about sales training, right? And they're like, well, I don't want my guys gouging people. It's not what they're supposed to be doing. I don't want to become that salesman. That's not what you're supposed to do either. If you do pick up on sales skills, it's just to better like protect yourself, make more money, and protect the client by offering them more options. And in essence, everybody wins. Like you make more money, they get a better solution. It's not like you're forcing people to make them sign. You know,
No, they're not.
the sales training for plumbers that we provide, nobody has made anything less than 3 times return on investment. The average is between 5 to 10 times the return on investment within 30 days. So if you're wondering, like the sales training that we're talking about, all you got to do is visit www.salestrainingforplumbers.com. It's so easy. Like that should.
And you know what? Taking sales training is really important too, because I get plumbers that feel bad charging a customer. So sales training is, like you said, is not about teaching plumbers how to gouge the customer. It's about teaching them how to present the services that they provide and help the customer understand what they need without having to like charge them a bunch of money for the service. You're gonna still, your prices are your prices, but it's teaching your plumbers how to talk to customers so that you can gain more, a bigger client list, build more relationships. And if you really care about the customer, you're gonna want to invest in sales training so that your customers, as you know, are gonna be in good hands. So it's not that you're investing, so that you can learn how to rip off customers. It's more of like, if you really care about the customer, who better than you to take care of that customer? So why lose it to a company that's gonna gouge them and that has invested in sales training, and now you're up against someone who actually got the training that you should have gotten, So
that's true. Oh, that's such a good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Carla. I do appreciate it. This has been a very good training for plumbers. And, and if there's a restoration company out there watching this video, get a hold of Carla. She will teach your reps how to run your business on such a successful level that you guys will like duplicate 7 figures. These are systems in place that There's standard operating procedures that you just like plug it in and then it goes. So if you're a restoration company, reach out to Carla. If you're a plumber, reach out to me. You can talk to both of us. It doesn't just not one or the other, guys. So if you want to reach out to Carla, you're a plumber, go for it. If you're a restoration company, you want to reach out to me, go for it. We are here to help you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's training. And is there anything you want to touch base on before we get out of here, Carla?
No, I think we did good.
Did you make it really clear on how they make between $500 and $1,000?
It depends on the restoration company, but yes. So, you know, I didn't talk about how much I paid, but I pay $1,000 cash for insurance jobs, or 10% of the job for out-of-pocket jobs. So if you add it up, I mean, even if you call in 4 jobs and 3 out of the 4 secure through insurance, that's an extra $3,000. You can't tell me you can't afford sales training if you're calling in restoration jobs, you know, water damages, sewage, mold, you know, you can't tell me you can't afford it, because I know for a fact that I take really good care of my plumbers. Actually, I have 2 envelopes right here.
Yeah. What do you got?
Right here, $1,000 in each.
2 racks right there, giving them away.
Right
Making
here.
it rain.
No joke. No joke.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Bow. You look like Money Mayweather now. Look at you.
Right? No, you know, this is the fun part about my job. But the thing is, you know, there's no excuses. You know, I had a plumber tell me, oh, well, I wanted the money to buy fireworks. Bro, you want to burn that money? Like, go invest it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then grab that money, then buy fireworks, and you'll have like 10 times more
Exactly.
fireworks. You have free fireworks. Let's just say that.
Right? I
You'll
lost
learn
you
them.
for
You'll
a
learn
second.
them. You'll learn them. It's what a great
Yeah.
meeting. Okay, guys. If you need to get a hold of me, go to salestrainingforplumbers.com. If you need to get a hold of Carla, where do they go, Carla?
Oh, to blueribbonrestoration.com.
That's right, blueribbonrestoration.com. Stay tuned for our next video. See you guys soon.
Yeah. See you.